Let's see if this actually works. So far, nothing. I'm just kind of sitting on standby, trying to like see if this actually goes live. Start sending us your video from your streaming software to go live, and I think I am, but it doesn't seem to be catching it. I need to go back out. Says I'm live, so I guess I have to be. See if I can actually see it here. I am live. Okay. I was just in the wrong window, so I couldn't actually see I was live. I haven't streamed for a long time. I haven't recorded anything for about 3 months, so I just sort of like gotta double check everything is working. See if everything is working. Okay, there's audio. There's gonna be some echoing going on. So yeah, I am back again. The music awkwardly stopped just as I was ready. It has been a long time. It's been about 3 months since I uploaded anything to the channel, and I figured that I would do a live stream since we're entering 2024, and it's just kind of a good time to come with a channel update, just letting everyone know what exactly has been going on, why I haven't been here for about 3 months. And people who are watching this on playback can also just sort of get an update on what has been happening. So basically, I can see people in the chat. Hello! Welcome everyone. I just want to say I'm not used to streaming, so this is going to be slightly awkward. I just set everything up bare bone, so there's no notifications, there's not going to be anything popping up. I haven't really set up anything, which is sort of like going live here. But for people watching this on playback, because I know people are kind of curious to why I haven't been uploading stuff to the channel, and I just want to come with the channel update and just let people know why that has been. So for about 3 months ago, things kind of changed quite a bit. I sort of got a full-time job, so I'm not doing YouTube full-time anymore. Good one, Danny. You do wonderfully well in this channel. My coding skills significantly improved due to this channel. Well, I'm so glad you find everything helpful. It's always good to see when people, they come with good positive feedback. So about 3 months ago, I got a full-time job, and part of the reason for that is that YouTube has changed quite a bit. A lot of other YouTubers have come out and said the same thing, but just about the time when YouTube started changing all the ad revenue settings, for like, is your video targeted toward, kids and that kind of thing, revenue just kind of changed. And all of a sudden, about half of what YouTubers earned just got taken away. Which changes things a bit, because when you do YouTube full time, you have to have income coming in from somewhere, and you have bills to pay. So it's not really a good change, but it is something that happened. And around the same time, my wife got very sick, and we had to find out what was wrong with her. So we went to the doctor, we went to the hospital, back and in and out for quite a long time. And it was only about 6 months ago that we actually got a diagnosis for why she was in pain. And it's been kind of rough, because you have to, when your wife is sick, she's chronically ill, by the way. She's not dying, but she has chronic pain that we have to just constantly, watch out for. But it does also kind of mean that I have the only income right now in the household. So YouTube also taking half my revenue away is not really a good thing. So that kind of led to me taking a full-time job. So with that, of course, a new job kind of requires you getting into it, learning how to do that job, and just, you know, getting to know people. And, you know, 3 months passes by and you haven't really done anything on this channel. So, you know, things are going to change a little bit going forward. Unfortunately, YouTube is not going to be a full-time thing anymore. You know, I have been very busy uploading previously to those 3 months, but it's going to change a little bit now. So let me just see what is going on with the chat, because like I said, I'm not used to live streaming, so I have to, you know, get used to looking at chat as well. Your humor with your humor with the videos are it for me. I'm glad you enjoy it. And hi, nice meeting everyone. I have a question. You can ask your question. It's gonna be about, can you do a Laravel tutorial? Because that is the one I hear all the time. But yeah, actually I do want to address that too, because I see a lot of people in the chat, you know, my comment section asking for new tutorials. Laravel is especially popular. I was actually preparing a Laravel tutorial series, you know, with PHP, you know, the framework, and, you know, then all this happens. So I have, you know, the beginning of a Laravel tutorial course sitting, but there's just not time, you know, with the full-time job to set up everything. So gonna have to take Laravel, put it on the shelf, and we're not really gonna do that in the near future. So it's gonna be a while. Hey Danny, hope you're doing well. I am doing well. Part of, you know, the whole getting a new job thing is also to get a bit more economic freedom. People don't know this because I don't share a lot with my personal life, but we've actually been very tight on money, you know, ever since my wife got sick. And it's been, you know, to the point where, you know, do you want to go to the dentist, or do you want to, you know, I don't know, do something else? So like, you can't really get everything. So I haven't been to the dentist for quite a long time. I'll start doing that too now when I get more money with a new job. So can you help and do a video, please? Well, I'm about to address that now. So Danny the recent learned PHP, now learning Laravel. Oh, cool. Laravel is the natural next step, so I'm glad people are continuing, even though I probably won't be the one to put up the Laravel tutorials. So yeah, hopefully in the near future I'll get some more economic freedom, which is something we've been lacking. And unfortunately, that is also gonna, you know, hurt the channel a little bit, because I can't be uploading videos every 3 days or so. Today, I thought I would do a small experiment, because with you know, full-time jobs comes very little free time afterwards. Right now we do have the Christmas holidays, so there's no work right now. So I thought, why not do something for the channel? We're gonna do asset pack creation as a small cozy thing today. It's not gonna be anything fancy. It's just gonna be just to get something up on the channel, say hi to people, channel update. Are you from... Why is my window so small? I can't read everything. Are you from game dev before web dev? As part of my education, long time ago when I went to the university, we actually learned game dev at the same time as web dev. And then later on, we just sort of like had to pick which direction to go. And I actually went the web development direction. And then in my spare time, later on, I started doing game dev. So it is web development that I have my bachelor's in. So game dev is more of a hobby, so to speak. Let's see what people are saying. I really loved your PHP videos back in the day. I'm glad you and your wife sorted out that diagnosis. Yeah, it took 6 months. No, it didn't take 6 months. 6 months ago, we got the diagnosis. And she's been sick for about 5 years, but it was really bad for the past 2 years. So, you know, it got to the point where we got to the hospital and they just couldn't figure out what was wrong with her. And they told her, go home and read a book and just forget about your pain. And that made me kind of mad because you don't just read a book and forget about your pain. So I went back to the doctor's office. I slammed my fist on the table and I said, you need to figure this out now. He's been sick for about 5 years. We need something, you know, some sort of answer to this. And then things started rolling and they got her to a specialist, and she immediately, for some reason, knew what was wrong with her, even though no one else knew for the past 5 years. So she now has 2 chronic illnesses that we're trying to maintain. You know, one of them is under control, but the second one is still kind of being, you know, handled, trying to like get things under control. Let's see, a lot of people writing. Are you going to upload videos occasionally now? See, that's the thing we need to talk about, right? Because when you have a full-time job, I shouldn't say I don't have the time, because of course you can always find time, right? So you work for 8 hours, you get back home again, and sure, I could spend the next 4 hours before bedtime, you know, making videos, but there's also other things in my personal life that needs taken care of. So when you don't do YouTube full time, all of a sudden, you know, go to 8 hours for work, go back home, and then you have to continue working. It's not really the most awesome thing when you have a house to maintain as well, and a sick wife. So I have been sort of brainstorming and tried to figure out, when you have limited free time now, what kind of content could you put on the channel? Because so far, I've just kind of been thinking maybe I should do Photoshop tutorials, you know, something that doesn't require prep time. Because a Laravel course requires a lot of prep time. So there's a lot of technical things you have to get in order. You have to, you know, we can't just turn on the camera and start recording, because you have to prepare things, right? You have to make sure that not only do you have everything carefully planned out step by step, so it's really easy for beginners to understand, but you also need to make sure that everything is correctly shown. Because, you know, even though I've learned it a certain way, if you put it online, if it's not the same way that the majority of people have learned it, then you're going to get a lot of criticized, you know, in the comment section. So you have to make sure that everything is done the most common way possible for, you know, more people to learn it the correct way. So something other than Laravel, you know, PHP projects, HTML projects, something a little bit more easy to just sort of turn on the camera and just kind of do, would be a really good thing to just kind of, you know, figure out how to do. Well, Photoshop now has AI function like ChatGPT, and I have actually played around with it. I did actually record 2 videos on it, but then I had to edit them, and just kind of like it just kind of got left in the dark. And then all of a sudden, AI changed a little bit more, and those videos became too old. So, you know, there was no reason to put them up anymore. So yeah, today I figured we would do just an acid pack stream, just cozy, just telling people about you know, the changes that happened, the new job, what do you call it, just kind of like chill. I'm a pro at streaming, right? So you can tell I'm sitting here keeping people entertained with a lot of ums and buts and ums. Is your new job related to coding or something else? It is IT related, but I don't really want to talk too much about my job, because I don't want people to figure out where I work at, because it is one of those things where if people actually know the name of the business or what it's about, people can guess where I'm working at. So it's never a good thing to share those kind of personal information online. People can even figure out where I live. So I don't want people knocking on my door, you know, a day after I stop streaming. I have, by the way, I've had the flu, a really bad flu, 2 weeks ago, and I'm still coughing. It's not corona, because I did get tested. It was just a really bad flu. But I do still have something in my voice. So if I sound a little bit weird with my voice, like kind of muffled, it's because I'm still a little bit, you know, post-sick. Yes, when teaching coding, you can need a lot of preparation, haha, so that you can discuss it clearly, and that is hard. And that's exactly the point. It's not just about showing coding. It's about, what do you call it, mediating it properly to others. Like that's the difficult part. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Bilal. I hope that's how your name is said. And happy holidays, by the way, and happy New Year's. It is soon New Year's. I'm sitting here like, again, like when you start up the stream, you kind of like figure things will go one way. Like I'll start the stream, tell everyone what is going on, and then I'll start doing artwork, which is kind of like chatting now. But it is cozy, so we just kind of see where the flow goes. Yeah, I don't even know how many people are watching. 26 people are watching. That's nice. But yeah, I had this one idea that I don't know if it's a good idea, but I did kind of have an idea because on my channel right now, I have a couple of different courses. And a lot of them are web dev related, but I do also have some game dev related courses. And when I started putting those up, they were doing okay. You know, it was Unity, it was how to create assets and stuff like that. But for some reason over the past year, like they just kind of like started getting views. So I thought we could do a asset stream where I show off my non-existing artistic skills. People can come with feedback if they want to, because I've done a lot of drawing for the past couple of years, but I'm not a creative person. So I'll try to create assets that I will then put, you know, for channel members, they can gain access to them. Just kind of as a nice bonus for doing a cozy stream. Let's see. Sad still can't get work regarding programming, but still not stopping coding and developing my portfolio. I'm glad, Gabe. Gab, right? Gabe is with an E behind. Yeah, it is, depending on where you live, it can be kind of difficult to get a programming job, and also depending on what you know. Some languages out there are also just kind of more sought after than others. So depending on what, you know, languages and frameworks you know, it's different in difficulty. Can I make an AI solution using PHP? I have absolutely no idea how to do that. Danny, can you read my messages? You have a pretty easy to find profile image. I'm a student from a really poor family, just trying to learn WordPress to hustle on freelancing platforms like Fiverr and Upwork and give my career a boost in the web development field. Oh, I'm glad. Yeah, if you learn WordPress and you know PHP as well, then you can really get some easy jobs going. Of course, stuff like Laravel would probably be the better way to go, but you know, WordPress is also what I used to do when I got started. After my education, I would work as a WordPress developer for about a year, I think I did, and I would actually make WordPress websites for people and just kind of, you know, make a small living that way until I started my my candidate. What do you call that in English? Like in the US, what is it? Is it just a candidate degree? I had to stop it halfway though, unfortunately. See. Oh yeah, bro, be looking like Elon Musk. Every 5th comment on my channel is about someone calling me Elon Musk. Like if I go to my actual comment, you know, dashboard inside my YouTube studio, you'll see like, oh, this is Elon Musk's brother or something, like just all the way down. I I don't know what it is. Is it the eyes? Is it the nose? My wife says it might be the eyes. Like, she can't quite see it. Thanks for replying. You look handsome, though. Well, thank you. I did do something with my hair today, so thanks for noticing. But yeah. Acid pack. I was thinking 2D. Because it's easy. 3D is difficult. I did learn Cinema 4D back in the day, but it has been some years ago. I did try to learn Blender as well a couple of years ago, but I did the donut tutorial with the Blender Guru on YouTube, and then I didn't really get further. So I think I restarted his course like with the donut tutorial about like 3 times, and I never got further than like almost creating the donut. You taught many people. It's so funny, like there's a small heart icon in the way, so I can't see the chat. You have taught many people a strong foundation in coding. Well, I'm glad. It is one of those things where people will like come to my channel and say, why don't you do advanced tutorials? But I've always just been the type of person who loves to get people into something new. So like a lot of times when you're a beginner, you have a hard time just overlooking the path you need to take in order to learn a skill. So like if you want to get started on PHP, for example, there's a lot of courses out on the internet that has people who has programmed for about 30 years, and they will teach people, but they forget how it's like to be a beginner. And a lot of times people get lost trying to learn from them. So I try as much as I can to try not to say anything offensive here, dumb it down, to the point where a beginner has a much easier time understanding it. And I think it's about mediating the way you say things. So, not using complex vocabulary when you're sitting there teaching, but trying to like give, examples that make sense to a person who's never done it before. I think that's the important part to get people into a skill. And then once they get into PHP and they learn the foundation, then it becomes a lot easier for them to go online and just learn the advanced stuff, because now they have a good foundation. So that's always been sort of like my path on the channel. That's why I have 10 different courses instead of just doing PHP, and that's the only thing I do on the channel, is because I like to get people into stuff, and just explain it in a very easy way. Wishing you a very happy 2024, and may God bless you and your family. Oh, you too. Hi Elon, thanks for your PHP tutorials. You're an excellent teacher. Yeah. Okay. But enough with that. I want to create a tree to start with, and I have tried to in the past, but it's been a while. When you create like a 2D asset pack, you have to figure out the style, and I don't have a style yet. I've just been kind of going on Pinterest trying to figure out, how do people draw, sprites? How do they make trees? How do they make just general asset packs? And something I learned is when you start drawing something, it's not actually about the shape of the character or the tree. It's about the shading and highlights and outlines. Because when you do that, all of a sudden it changes. So if you create a very basic, person, actually zoom in so you guys can see. I'm sitting here with a big screen in front of me, but when you're sitting with a small video in front of you, then it's probably not too easy to see. When you create something, something very basic, you can create like a square person. It's all about highlights and shades. Let's actually do a tree instead, because I think I'm sitting here with like a reference right here, so I can just copy paste. That's not really too impressive. Let's pick a green color. If you just draw like a, like a basic shape. Again, I'm not really an expert at drawing trees. But if you draw something, it's not about the shape. And I've actually seen, you know, like people that just draw very basic, you know, when they try to draw realistic drawings, it's never like they can take an amateur's drawing that doesn't really look good with like proportions and lighting, and they take their drawing and just by touching up on it with like shading, highlights, and outlining, all of a sudden it looks really good. So that's something I just kind of like, you know, picked up trying to learn. Do I actually have the proper preset here? I think I do. Hey, Stony Eagle! Yeah, it has been a long time. You'll notice that he has a small icon in front of him. I think that might mean he's a member, but I do also think you're the most, you know, liked from me person on the channel. Oh, a Happy New Year to you too. AV Studio Moldova. I thought my course recommendation would be good for you to follow, but it was deleted. Oh, I don't actually know what that course is. Yeah, you are a legend here. Let's get a brown. And I do actually think you can do... I'm not like an expert at this program here. I know you can do layers. So how do you do a new layer? Is it Control N? No, that's new sprite. How do you do new layer? New layer. It's Shift N. Okay. Gotta learn the shortcuts, otherwise things are gonna take too long. So this... which one is what? Okay, that's that one. Put that one up. There we go. Okay. So if we go underneath here, we draw the trunk. That might not look too good. We can do like a short thing like this. So when you have like a basic shape, I learned that if you go in and take the color, add some darkness, let's get back up to layer. And you just got to figure out where's the sun coming from. So we could say the sun is coming from up here. Right? That's a sun. It's more like a moon, but it's the same thing. It gives it casts a light, and then we have like shadow. So let's go ahead and take the same color, make it a little bit darker, and then just gonna shade the outlines where you want the moon to come from. This is a moon in this example here. I don't think that's dark enough. Let's just start with it. But also just go in shading. I don't think you have to do it from above. Let's go ahead and take some highlights. More highlights. No. Yeah, we're doing a, for people who just came in, we're doing a, that doesn't look quite good. Let's do that. We're doing a asset pack, coasty stream. People want to join in. Something I haven't done before. My friend has me doing C#, and I have no clue what I'm doing, and my code is throwing a fit on build. Debugging something without having the proper knowledge sucks. Yeah, C# is probably one of my favorite languages to learn because it's so easy. Like I've done a little bit of C++ at some point, and there's just like a lot more to do there when it comes to like memory management, and like when you get errors, it's a lot more bad because C# is very forgiving compared to C++. Let's see. I have a hard time with the middle part here, but I think we can figure it out. It's always a good thing to have references. So like if you have like a picture of a tree online somewhere, you can actually kind of figure out what you're doing. Maybe we could actually take a highlight here. Yeah, that might work. So a little bit of shading here, just to kind of prove my point, but we're not done yet because we haven't done everything we can. It's one of those things where it always looks really bad to begin with, and I used to just kind of like get started on drawing something like this, and then I would say, this doesn't look good. Then I would delete it and then try over again, and then it wouldn't look good again. But then I learned that it's all about the fine touching. So once you start drawing something like this, you gotta do some touch up at the end. Let's see. And we gotta do highlights. A little bit more. So if we do a short outline just to kind of like show this, let's do a dark. It's always like one of those things where you can do it in two ways. Either you can just choose a black, and you can start highlighting it like this, or you can actually take the same color, but go a darker version of it. You have something that isn't completely black, but it's kind of in the same tone as the tree. Then you start drawing. And you get an outline. You can always change it afterwards. I think my wife woke up. She's been in pain today, so she took a nap. I did at the beginning of this stream. I had like practiced how I was supposed to give out my my channel updates. And it did not go how I planned. There's a lot more pausing and not very like coherent, you know, timeline of what I was going to say. Everything just kind of like got mixed together. But it's okay. There is an outline option. Oh yeah, there is. There is a built-in outline option inside this software. Somewhere, but it doesn't always do what you want it to do. Like, it's a really good way to do things really fast, but it doesn't do it the way I want it to. Oh, where is it? If you know where it is, you're more than welcome to share. Is it right-clicking on the layer? Properties? No. Not properties. There is a way to do it, which is much faster. But it doesn't do it the way I want it to. Like, then you have to delete afterwards instead. Edit FX. Oh yeah. And there we have an outline. Awesome. You know what? Oh, you can actually see it outlined in here too. Oh, right, because it's shaded on the same layer. Okay, let's do it this way. I will revert my outline, and then I'll do it the FX way. And then we will adjust afterward. Let's actually go move it down. So let's go ahead and let's delete the there we go. Okay, so we only have this part of the tree. Then we'll outline it. The moon is part of the this layer 2. Whoops. It was only because I wanted to have a direction for the lighting. And so we go to edits, X, outline. We can adjust it here. And you can actually adjust it so that it, you know, go all the way around, or you can actually have it not. Like, this is the effect that I wanted. You can also do it only horizontally or vertically. But I actually kind of like it like this. I didn't know you could do this, though. You could add in the corners if you needed to. Yeah, this is actually what I was trying to do. So, okay. Awesome. Thanks. You were the first person to introduce programming to me. It's really sad to see your channel die. I hope you succeed in the future. My channel die? Okay. Yeah. I mean, a channel dies the day that you stop uploading, really. Oh, hey! Yeah, long time no see. I did do an update to what has been going on at the start of the stream here. So if people are interested in that, they can always, you know, go to the beginning. Just kind of watch that part. Only need to be boxed around the part to you want to outline, so you so your other art doesn't get hurt. Yeah. It's kind of weird with this chat window. Like, how do I remove this? There's a little heart icon in the corner of my chat. So every, like, the latest message, the right side of the chat gets hidden away. I don't want the heart. What happens if I click it? Does something happen? It started blinking, but I don't know what happened. Okay. Yeah, but I don't know if you can see, like, doesn't this kind of start looking like a tree? Like, this is a very quick, rough draft, right? But with the shading, with the lighting, with the outlines, you can start to see a tree happening here. And I think that is kind of amazing. Because when I started drawing, I kept deleting my drawings again. So this is just like, this was an epiphany for me. Learning to draw trees in this sort of way. Let's actually try and do the same thing for the trunk. Take the layer. Yeah, it's only that one. Oh, the guy got an outline too. We can delete that afterward. So we do effects, outline, and now this one turned a different color. So we need to make sure we pick a... need like do a drop tool or something. No, you cannot. Okay, so you have to get the color from out here. Copy this. By the way, if you hear like some fart noises in the background, it's because our pet is making fart noises. Layer effects, outline. Oh, now it picked it. Well, that's great. Let's darken it a little bit. Index. Oh. It's one of these. It's this one. There we go. Oh, there's a bunch of messages now. You should be able to maybe pop out the chat box. Maybe. Oh, pop out chat. You're right. But the heart is still there. But oh, actually there's a welcome to live chat YouTube message at the bottom that is kind of pushing up the chat. So I won't remove that one so I can see. I sound like an old man when I'm sitting here trying to figure out a chat. The annoyance of YouTube streaming. Time to stream on Twitch. Yeah, well, Twitch does have better bitrate and quality, but I don't know, like, Twitch is a very misunderstood platform. A lot of people that go streaming on Twitch, they see it as a thing where you just like start, you know, you just put on the stream and then you will gain viewers, but that's not really how it works. Like, Twitch is the kind of platform where you have to have a second source to get the views in from. For example, YouTube or Twitter or something. Like, you can't just Twitch stream and then just make it unless you're super lucky. YouTube works a little bit different because you have already a following on YouTube. So when you start streaming on YouTube, they are already there. That's a really good thing. Let's see. Oh no, the YouTube chat message is following the chat. A Santa joke? I don't know. Oh yeah, you look like a mix of Elon Musk and Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast is also a comment I get very frequently on my channel. I don't see it. Like what part of my face? Yeah, kind of Mr. Beast. Haha. Yeah, YouTube does show if you're live to anyone following the channel. So that is, you know, big points to YouTube there. I'm glad YouTube reworked the streaming, because they used to be really bad for streaming. Like, just like as a creator, when you had to start up the stream, everything was super bad and unintuitive. But then they just completely reworked everything, and it's pretty good now. Hey, Dani and everyone. Hope you had a great Christmas time. I did. I hope you did too. We finally had a year of Christmas where we could actually afford things after I started my new job. So that was good. You have been a mentor of mine for 5 years. I'm glad that you have been watching me for 5 years. That's a long time. It is something I sometimes see. People there will watch a course 5 years ago, and then they need to touch up on things, and then they'll come back again. So that is great. I'm using OBS for recording, and this is how old I am. I didn't know, because in order to get a good face cam quality when you record, right? You don't just plaster your face in the corner of OBS and that's it. Instead, you do not 1920 by 1080, but you know, twice it up to the other side. So then you can take your face cam on one side and your screen on the other side. Then you take it into an editing software, and then you can move your face wherever you want inside your editing software. But the problem though is that when I start streaming, it's going to be in that format, like twice as long, and I don't know how to do it only for recording and not for streaming. So I have Streamlabs for streaming and OBS for recording, which I used to use Streamlabs for recording as well back in the day, until I found out that they were pretty much scum, those developers. But now I'm okay with using it because OBS actually outbought Streamlabs. So now it's the same owner. That's a good thing. So now I'm actually comfortable using both. And let's see. Yeah, YouTube wasn't built for streaming. But I'm glad they reworked it to make it easier for people. Sounds great having a new job, Dani. Thank you. I'm very happy with it. A lot of great people at work. Recently found your channel. You explain well. Thank you. That is one of the things that I really try to do on my channel. It's been years since I watched Dani videos until now. You know, a lot of people, because I swapped from Tuts to Dani Krossing later on with my channel name, still today, because my wife, she sometimes goes in just to like check it out, you know, who follows, you know, who searches for Tuts today. There's a lot of people that still searches for that name. So yeah, it is what it is. The channel is different now. It has a different name, so people are just gonna have to learn that. By the way, I don't think I actually changed my can I do that while I'm streaming? Oh yeah, my sync offset. I think my mouth is moving and then the sound is a little bit off, because it usually is. I think this might fix it. I should have fixed that at the beginning. It does not seem to be off. Okay, that's good. Now you're crossing the lines. What is this game? Right now I'm just kind of doing an asset pack, which I will put up at some point. I might do this over multiple streams, but I'll do an asset pack. Right now it's going very slow because, you know, it's first stream, I'm talking to people. But in the future, I will most likely just have a couple of streams working on this, just for fun. And we will be building assets for a game that I will then put up for all the channel members just to download. So, let's see. You still come back up in the results, so you just need to keep your profile picture. Oh, I do? If you search Tuts? Awesome. YouTube delay, typical. Yeah. Well, it is like that on Twitch too, with the off sync. With the it's a streaming software issue. Have I sold on the Unity Asset Store? I have not. It would be awesome to do so at some point, but you know, I do YouTube, and some people that do assets for asset stores, they do that full time. So, let's see. Is it all right if I ask you a question? You may ask a question, as long as it's appropriate. Where are you going to make the game available to get? Well, the assets here, I'll just put up for all the channel members, because I do have all my personal notes and stuff available for channel members. It was something I did, like, before I did YouTube full time. The people on my channel said, you know what, put everything, you know, lesson notes that I sit with, like my personal notes for my tutorials, just put them up on Patreon, and then people can download them. So I do have both for YouTube channel members, but also for patrons. They can just gain access to all this stuff, since I'm just going to put it up with my lesson materials. Yeah, I know, lazy. So if I search a video from you for a friend, I search... Again, it's getting in the way. I search on mmtoots. Okay. I'm glad I'm still popping up, though. Like, it does mean that the SEO for my channel still has mmtoots labeled together with it. I have seen another person, I think, tried to take my mmtoots name after I swapped my name, making tutorials. That's kind of fun to see. If you were making a website and you had an office section to make the page fuller, what would you put under the office section? Let me see if I understand this correctly. So if you have a website and you have a section on the website that offers different services, to make the page fuller, what would I put under the office section? Well, you can always put, if you have customers already that has, you know, maybe given feedback, like positive feedback, you can always put positive references. You can always put, depending on the company, because again, it's always, you have to like look at what kind of company it is, because sometimes putting the staff underneath might not be appropriate depending on the size of the company or what type of company it is. You could also put where you're located, contact information. Again, it really depends on what kind of, like, some companies heavily rely on people being able to get in contact with you. So if you have one of those type of companies, then contact info is good to have both underneath there on the front page or on the office page, as well as inside a contact page. So like, again, it all depends on the specifics of the website. But yeah, anything useful for the customer. You have to look at what are you trying to do with the website, and then build it around that. Are you going to create a Redux toolkit tutorial? No. It depends on what you want to share information about your company, like about reviews, contact, CTA section. Yeah, so like a call to action. If you want people to email you, then a big button that says email me that people can click on. Yeah, customer reviews, exactly. Okay, so we're building a tree. The tree trunk is a bit thick, so let's thin it. I think we can do something like this. By the way, my car just broke down some time ago. And when I say some time, I mean like a couple of weeks ago. And we just had someone come over. We know someone who, his dad is a mechanic. So we had him come by, and we finally fixed it yesterday. That has been like heavily burdening my brain that the car was breaking down. But it works now. Again, for people who are wondering why I'm coughing sometimes, I had the flu, like a really bad flu, 2 weeks ago. And I'm still coughing from it. And it's not corona. Oops. Am I editing the right layer? Okay, good. Actually, I kind of like that little accidents in drawings are sometimes the best part of drawings. So like the shading over here shouldn't really be there for the tree trunk, but it looks good. Let's extend it a little bit. After, before. After, before. I think before. Very Bob Ross of you to say. Thank you. Happy little accident. That is exactly where it comes from. I never understood what he meant until I tried drawing, you know, myself. And then I figured out that it's the whole point about like just like I drew this very rough outline of the tree to like show people you just need like a rough shape, and then you know you do some shading and then everything is fine. And usually that includes a lot of happy accidents when you just do rough outlines. What's up, Danny K? I'm from Dallas. You're a real G. Well, thank you. Let's see. I don't actually know how many people are watching, but I can probably see it somewhere. It says 28 on mine, but that must be correct. Right. But yeah, I think to start with just a bunch of trees and flowers would be really good for an asset pack. From my experience, sometimes it is kind of a good idea to take what you're drawing and put it inside Unity, just to kind of test out things. Why did that not just get deleted? Alright, new layer. And paste. My character should be on a separate layer. The player has to get animated at some point too. This might not be like the final version of the player at all, because what you'll actually notice... Let's go and delete these first. You're gonna notice that my player looks very uncontrasty. Show you what I mean. Just whoops. Things. There's probably a much faster way of doing this. All those like Asaprite experts sitting out there, you know, trying to tell me how to do things because I'm highlighting and deleting. What you'll notice here when I start zooming out is that his face just kind of looks like one color with two eyes and a mouth. And it has to have a little bit of contrast. Like there has to be something going on to give it a little bit of personality. Because right now... Oh. Ah, that didn't work. Did it? Does it look better? Ah, I don't think so. 28 here too. Did I say 28 at some point? I'm watching, even though I'm lost. It hurt watching you delete the lines. You better watch out, because otherwise I'll do one at a time somehow. I'll take the eraser and I'll scale all the way down and just delete one at a time. Yeah, so the character needs a little bit of personality. And I don't know if he quite matches with the aesthetic of the tree. So we'll have to figure something out there. You'll also notice that the tree is actually... got right layer. Wrong layer. Can I select two layers at the same time? Oop, that does not work. Yeah, we're gonna have to do one. Again, there's probably a faster way of doing this, but I'm new to the software. Tree down. There we go. All right. It should be a little bit taller. Like have a little bit of It goes up till around here. We'll just we'll just draw it out a little bit more. I decided to create a full stack app where the backend is based on one of your PHP login projects. Is it possible to catch you on Discord? Maybe like to your opinion and share thoughts. I don't do Discords, but you're more than welcome to post in the comment section for people to give thoughts on it. Well, maybe not, because you can't really share your your app in the comment section. But I don't really do Discord, unfortunately, or one-on-ones. I think your smile looks like Elon. Is it my smile? It might be. Oh, 28 visitors. Oh, okay. Look, the delay make you lose track. Yeah, probably. This is Aseprite. A-S-E... I'll write it down. There we go. I can also see how much of a delay there is from when the chat comment popped up. I did set my chat to be very fast responsive. So, you know, the delay should be as minimal as it can be on YouTube. I love your PHP videos. Well, thank you. I love you for watching them. Okay, so we have to draw out this tree again now. I think I'll start with the... Actually, no, the outline should probably not be the start, because that will just mess things up. Doesn't look like it. Oh no. Did I ruin my tree? Oh no. What did I do? Yeah, something is off here. I think the scaling, like there might, maybe like 2. That, I think it's going out too far. Oh no. We draw this. Quick, get Bob Ross on the phone. Or maybe some of his old courses so I can actually watch him do this. Yeah, I think I have to like draw into down here. Maybe just delete. Oops. It's gonna be a person commenting that like I'm clicking these tools up here instead of shortcutting them. That's okay though. We're not in a hurry, I think. Okay, so we can actually draw the filler. And now we have to draw the shading. There we go. Dani, I want to thank you for everything you taught me. I will start working as a web dev. Just to thank you live. Thank you, brother. Greetings from Albania. I'm so glad that you could start working as a web developer, Ray. Awesome. Okay, so now for the outline part, which is the... I gotta do this manually now, because we did outline it once, meaning that I have to either delete all the outlines and then re-outline it, or I just have to draw it manually. Like, there's an Aseprite expert in the chat that knows this stuff, so they might know whether or not I have to redraw everything. I think this is okay. I think it is. I think I did draw it proportionally okay. Maybe. Yeah, I think this is okay. Maybe delete like this part up here. Is it possible I was watching you 8 years ago learning my first PHP? I've always thought you were the best. Oh, awesome. Thank you. Oh, you're also named Daniel. Awesome. It is a pretty awesome name. And not at all the most common name here in Denmark. I'm trying to like this is where I have to be careful because I'm trying to micro paint the tree in order to fix small mistakes. And I don't think these are happy little accidents. I think I'm actually purposely making accidents now, which is going to mess up my tree. So the highlight is coming from this side, so that's important. Meaning that I have to use highlights. Right? I think so. Oh no. Which one do I delete? I think that's okay. Best creators back on game dev. You gotta love it. Thank you, Omeletto. Omeletta. I do like I have done web dev stuff since I graduated. Well, actually from before I graduated my bachelor's and started doing my candidate in web communication. I think was the last one called. And it's one of those things where like when you've not worked with web dev for many years, but you've just sort of like taught it, you start seeking out other interests. And that's really where I started picking up game dev again. Like I've actually not been learning game dev for that long. I mean, I have, you know, we learned it back at the university, but just kind of like getting a little bit better at it isn't something I've started doing until recently. I don't like get the highlights right. Maybe the highlights are too fine. Like maybe I have to just like, because I've seen some people, they do like they'll do like highlights like this, you know, just like paint it, and then they'll do like the middle part, and it'll look super good. Then they do like the shading afterwards, you know, like they'll do something like this instead of like fine painting it like this. I think I'll try fine painting it because that's kind of the same style I'm going for over here, so maybe that is the better option. Still waiting for my first horror game. I did actually try to recreate a horror game. I don't know if I can open it because it's I just installed a new version of Unity right before this stream, and I deleted an older version of Unity. And I was kind of crossing my fingers hoping it wasn't for that, like for that game that I made back then, but it was. So let's see if I do have a build of it. I don't think I do. Oh no. Find it here. Do I have like, oh, I have a builds folder. I do not have a build of it. Okay. I tried to, like, I was always curious because you see so many games on Steam, which is what you call asset flip games. Which basically means that people, they spent no time and effort in order to make those games. They just kind of bought asset packs from this asset store, and then they plopped it all together, made a very bad story, and then they put it on Steam to earn a quick buck. And I wanted to see, like, how fast can it be done? So in about 3 days, I started building a PT clone. The last thing I needed was the monster. I don't think I have the latest build. Let's see if I can actually open this up. I have it right here, but it gives me like a you know, the orange square, or like the triangle, saying, "Oh no, you did you opened this using a older build." Should I try and see if it breaks if I open with a later build? Last time I opened it was 10 months ago. Okay, well, let's try. This might completely destroy what I built here. Yeah, I mentioned that a couple of times in my game review videos. Yeah, asset flip games are the worst. Because, you know, not talking about all the Unity drama that just happened, but just kind of like about Unity in general before all that. Unity has been infamously known as a beginner's bad looking game engine. Because people, it's very easy to get into Unity. Let's see if this breaks. It's very easy to get into, and because of that, a lot of people will just try and poop something out really fast, which makes for bad games, obviously. Ooh, what does it say? A re-import. Be aware that opening in an older version is unsupported. Okay, I'm just gonna click continue. I mean, I deleted the previous Unity version, so, you know, either this is gonna work or it's not gonna work. But yeah, like, Unity has kind of been known to be like this game engine for, like, you know, making bad games that doesn't look very graphically impressive. But people, like, what people don't know is that all those impressive games out there made by indie game developers are made with Unreal Engine. And no, it's not because Unreal Engine is better looking for a beginner game developer. Like, if you are a Unreal Engine expert developer, you'll know how to use Unreal Engine to advantage to get better games. But as a beginner, it'll look exactly the same in Unity as it will in Unreal Engine. The reason Unreal Engine games look better, though, is because they have all their assets on the asset store, which are free every single month. So if you just like have an Unreal account and you just go in every month and claim those free assets, then you have a huge library of like stuff you can use for games. So yeah, YOLO, what could possibly go wrong? You can't see it because I have my application shown, so I don't show a bunch of personal stuff on my desktop. But it's trying right now to compile this game using the latest version of Unity. I can hear my computer thinking, telling me, this is not gonna work, Daniel. What are you making me do? This is gonna break. It's gonna put everything on fire, and you're not gonna be able to ever open this game again using any Unity versions because you're changing it. I should have made a copy before I did all this. I mean, I did think about making a copy, but I was like, will I ever open this again at some point? Probably not. Yeah, it's almost halfway. Yeah, this will be fun. It would kind of suck. Like, even though I only spent 3 days making that thing, it's still like, you know, I was still kind of proud of it, even though it wasn't like an asset flip game attempt. Yeah, almost. Can you actually see like the mouse cursor, even though I'm like, so if I open up like this other window, see if you can actually see the mouse cursor in the middle of my screen, or if it's hidden because I have the other window open. I'm gonna have to make another window capture, but with a different window, which is gonna be Unity. Let's work in the tree while it's burning up and catching on fire. Oh, wait, no, it's opening. Okay. Only a couple of errors. Let me share what is going on here. Where? Oh, it's actually it's trying to like catch Unity, even though this is asset pride. Oh wait, hold on. No, that's not it. There we go. It's trying to capture Unity as a full screen application. Okay. Let's duplicate. It is open, so I don't know if I can play it. I'm gonna duplicate. Okay, I'll try and copy paste. Nope, doesn't work. Oh, it did work. Okay. Unity. Is it Unity editors? Not it. PT clone. Maybe that's it. Nope. Trying to find it. There we go. Found it. You move this over. See, now when I change things, I have to sort out things. When it's done, it's never going to be done. Wanted to tell you I finally reached 500 mounts in WoW. Oh, cool. Awesome. Wait, are you the Peter from my other channel streams? You changed your profile photo, I think. Yeah, it has been a while. Yeah, people, last time I streamed on the other channel, people, they changed their usernames and profile images and... Oh, awesome! I didn't know you were following this channel. Okay, so there's error messages, right? So we're gonna have to see if I clear it. Let me just turn off the music. Okay, they're shooting off fireworks outside, by the way, so if at some point I suddenly have to go get my cat, because my wife is trying to get them inside. If it breaks. Oh, it seems to be working. Okay, can I do full screen? What is the shortcut for that? Maybe I'll have to... Game... Play focused, play maximized. Interesting. You can probably not hear it, but there's very subtle raining ambient sounds. Actually, I'll readjust it here. Maybe you can hear it now. So just like a basic level build so far, by the way. There's not really any sort of mechanics other than opening doors. And I did try to make it loopy with like different doors being open and stuff, but I don't think this version has it because this is an older version and I lost the other one. But basically just playing around with the lighting and environment, trying to... you probably can't hear it, but if I get closer to the window, the rain is going to get louder. Just to give that ambience. So imagine a horror game, right? Where you go around, some people may not have seen PT before. But basically, you have this house that has doors. And can I open it? It's locked. Again, I haven't touched this for like 10 months, so... Can I open this door? Oh, we can. So just a basic environment that I build up. Trying to make a creepy ambience. The kitchen is not very, you know, done yet. There's stuff missing on that side over there. How long did I work on this? 3 days, including trying to get all the acid packs for it. So, you know... I never tried to do an acid... actually, more specifically, I haven't done much in 3D, right? I've done a lot of stuff in 2D. So like, click on the door, it loops again. And then you start over again. And then different doors are going to be open, but that's a later build. You can't see it, but there's a monster on that side of the wall that is not doing anything yet. Wow, Danny, it looks good. Thank you, Peter. But yeah, this is what you can do with asset packs. Now, if you took this game, right, and you put it on the Steam, some people would say, oh, it's made in Unreal Engine. No, it's just because I used assets that I actually bought because I wanted to try and prove a point. Most stuff you see in Unity are self-made when you see Unity games, which is why people say Unity looks bad, because people actually tried to like 3D model all this stuff themselves, which I would much rather see than someone just buying asset packs, because it is handcrafted and it looks unique. And it's actually, you know, a game is like making games is trying to make art. It's like an extension of yourself. So if you just take someone else's art, put it into a game, then it's not your art anymore. 3 effing days and you got it looking this good? Well, thank you. A lot of quick setups in Unity to get this looking like it does. Yeah, it's the same. Like the same doors are open, like they're not locked or anything. Let's try and see if the monster is there. If that is in my later build. Oh, he is there. Again, a Unity. This is a free asset from the Unity store. So yeah, a lot of things going on here. The lighting, and this is actually the I think I made this as an animation because there's a lot of different ways you can set up the fade, so it fades to black and then it teleports you back to the beginning of the level. I think I made this as an animation. It's huge. Why is it that big? Oh wow. Well, I know why it's that big. It's because if I go into the UI and go to the canvas, you can see that this is actually the canvas of the game. So the canvas, for some reason in Unity, always looks like this. Like it's just kind of like in the same scene as everything else. So if I go to the world, which is over here, then the UI for some reason has to be there. And I don't know if Unity has made a way to separate those. I'm kind of surprised, you know, I can actually play this, seeing it's from an older build. Well, hey, Soren. And Phaeton. So yeah, just a small little project I did. I did it for about 3 days and gave up. Because I realized when I had to start putting the monster in there and have him do things like opening this door over here like halfway and then having him like peek out and close the door on you just like they do in PT. You know, I don't know. I just kind of like building the level and then I stopped there. So, with that, where's my stream? There it is. Should actually rename this one. Rename to Unity. Oh, they both got renamed now. Ooh. Okay. There we go. May, you know what? Never mind. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. I'm gonna close this down. I don't know if I have anything else I could show that I've been like just kind of like building my free time. I mean, I do have a bunch of things in here that are just like not done. And this is only on this computer because I have a bunch of stuff on another computer. I have even more stuff on another computer, I should say. But they all have these like generic names. So like 2D platformer, 3D acid test, 3D sample scene. Concept 2. Concept 2 game. Don't die. Games. Health bar. Home at last. Ideas. Lagoon. Pixel jump. So like I don't know what all these are. Let me try and open this one. This one could actually be kind of funny to see if it can actually be opened. Oh, I can actually see I do have some older ones opened here. Whoops. Oh no. I'm opening 2 at the same time. But this is not gonna fry my computer. I thought I had to double click, so I clicked 2 and it moved when I clicked it. Okay, well, we'll see what opens. Something is gonna happen. While that is happening, let me delete this thing. Going to go, Danny, but hope you, your wife, and Bess is doing good. See you again soon. Bess is not with us anymore. Not to, you know, make a sad spin on the stream, but he had a lot of sickness things with him. And it reached the point where it was just best to, you know, not leave him in pain anymore. That happened about 6 months ago too. So, but yeah. See you again, Peter. A sad goodbye. Oh, hello, India. Yeah. Frida is not here too either. See, I had 2 dogs that I brought with me. One of them, he had a lot of sickness, which is something that you might expect from a pure breed. The other one, she was a mix, but she actually got a... What is the English word for that? Discus prolaps. You know, when the stuff in between the spines pop out of place. And we spent a fortune trying to get her better. Almost ruining ourselves. And just kind of ended up reaching a point where she had to keep getting therapy, like laser therapy, for the rest of her life. So that was also sad. But yeah, see you, Peter. I do have another game here that I can try and show. Again, I don't know if this is broken. It might be. I think I used this maybe for a tutorial at some point. Sources. Because I need a different source for Unity. Window capture. Add source. Add new source. Unity. Add source. And I think this is the one. Yeah. Done. Whoops, I disappeared. There we go. This was a second, like I have a lot of unfinished games. I just kind of like start building something because I like trying to build the art for it. Like all of this is custom made. This is not asset store stuff. And like I said, I just kind of prefer to like make 2D games. Again, I have no idea how this looks because it's been a while since I opened this. Play full screen. See if it crashes. It might do it. I think I was playing around with post effects, trying to like make something look fun. Yeah, so just a tiny example of a 2D game that I started making until giving up on that too. See if I can actually complete it. I think you just start over if you reach the door. That's pretty much it. Okay, so that was one game. I have other games. I think I opened 2 at the same time. This one has nothing in it. Yeah. Okay. Let's go back in. It's kind of fun. Again, this is just like a chilled stream. I'm just kind of showing off things that I built at some point. As you can see, the style of this game is very different from the style of what I'm building inside as a pride. If I can actually do it here. Like it's completely different. I'm trying to be a little bit more artistic with this one. I'm working on my PHP project and facing challenges with class relationships. I'm unsure about when to use inheritance, dependency injection, and similar concepts. I'm gonna try. I'm trying to keep this as non-coder stream, if you could call that. But you're more than welcome to drop a question in the comment section on some of the videos. Let me try and see what else I have. So that was Pixel Jump. We just did PT Clone. Pixel Game 1. Home at Last? Let's try that one. That seems interesting. Are you Elon? See, I can't even go live without people keep saying that. I am not. Next time I'm gonna say I am and see what reaction I'm gonna get. We might even have somewhat the same accent, because I know Elon, he has like a South African accent, and for some reason it sounds like English isn't his first language because he has that accent. What is the idea for this project? The one that I just showed inside Unity, or oh yeah, I remember making this one. Let me actually just see if it actually does something. No, it doesn't. It doesn't do anything. Oh, it does. Oh, no, actually it's bugged. Let me just show what this is then. Not this one. Let's see. Does have multiple Unity open? Oh, it even shows with the old Unity icon. That's how long ago it is. Okay, so I have to find Unity. If I can find it. I don't even think it's here. Still trying to get the previous game. Oh, it's called Home at Last. I think I will have to actually create a new window. Window capture. Oh, now it wants to show it. I think. Maybe if I swap, it'll pop in. No, it's not that one. There we go. Found it. That's odd. But yeah, I actually made this one a little while back. I made this one. I did like a quick 2 acids, and then I tried to do a mechanic where you carried a dog. I got 1 bug, and then I abandoned the project immediately. So much for perseverance, right? You can pick him up, and you could throw him at some point. But I had to do something, like to tweak it. And when I did it, this happened. And you get error messages. Yeah. So just a small attempt. This isn't really like a game being made. This was more like me trying to figure out the mechanic of picking up animals to place them correctly inside the correct places. So like the animals had run away. This is Bessa, by the way, if you can't tell. Let's see if we can actually find another game that's maybe a little bit more complete. Okay, so that was Home at Last. Let's see what Pixel Game 1 is. I don't have many complete games. I do have another game that I think I made on my stationery. That would actually be a really cool one to find. Oh, thanks for watching the videos, Epic Entertainment. So while that's opening, let's do a little bit more shading. So we can do a little bit of shadows. Oops, that's just a straight line. Not very artistic. You also have to be careful you don't make it too what do you call it? Like too fine. Do that, then it looks bad. Wait, am I drawing in the right layer? Oh, thank God. Nothing worse than when you've been drawing for a long time and then you find out you've been drawing in the wrong layer. Oh, this one. I was just... Okay, so this is another one that I was just kind of doing, but... I don't think you can do anything in this one. This was actually... And I know you can't see anything. Yeah, there's nothing really in this game. Let's try another one. It was just a game where I was trying to do some artwork. Trying to figure out how to do 2D art. Oh, which one is it? I'm really like trying to find a game that is with me trying to do a 2D Viking game. But I don't know what I called it. Let's try this one. Do I have any release games on Steam? No. I have a bunch of one-level games where I didn't really finish those levels, and then I abandoned them, and then I tried making something new. Basically me, like, I have a craving for like trying to learn something new. So I'll make a new game, trying to learn that new thing, and once I've learned that new thing, I'll abandon the game, and then do another game to learn a new thing. So I don't really have like complete games, so to speak, but I'm trying to find one where I tried doing a little bit of a different 2D art style. Yeah, layer drawing is draining. Yeah, it really is. Let's see what this is. Like, you can't see anything, but I mean, I can show this one. It has nothing in it. You can even see let me just find it here before I start talking about it. What's it called? So I think I have to choose a different window. Then I have to go back again. But for some reason, there we go. This is like there's not even anything here. But this was just me trying to do a blob game. Learning how to animate a blob. I did so, and then I abandoned it again. I did have a different build with actual blob enemies that came in, but I don't think this is the one. I think I might have continued it on my laptop instead. But you guys see I set up managers and set up, like, there's not really anything in there, but I did start organizing things. But I'm gonna continue trying to see if I can find that Viking game. Which again isn't really a level, but it's just a thing that I abandoned. 3D sample scene? No, that's not it. What is a 3D sample scene? Let's see what Lagoon is. Again, this is like, most of this stuff is from like a year ago, at least. Like, there's still the old Unity logo at the bottom. You can't see it, but it's down there. Oh, sorry about that. I didn't realize I hadn't turned down the audio again. So you've been like hearing loud music. There we go. When I showed off the PT game, I turned up the audio for my desktop. And that means the music too. What is this? Yeah, I can try and show this. It's nothing really, again. It's me just trying to do 2D art and experimenting. Find it. Lagoon. Yeah, like this is nothing again. This is just me trying to figure out a new art style for drawing 2D art with boxes. Like how you're supposed to texture it and do things using tile mapping. So you can go in and you can actually pick them. Then you can draw them on. If you want to do that. But yeah, another experiment gone wrong. I have a lot of those. Like I have a whole list of things that I experimented with. Let's try something different. Again, trying to find that Viking game. It's another game here called Stacker. Is that what I think it is? I think this might be like my attempt at a mobile game where you have to like there's a block going either sideways or downwards, and you have to like make them hit each other on top. And then it actually like cuts off the part that sticks out. So you have to like try and build it as high as you can. Let me just see if this works. There might be music here. That was definitely music there. Let me turn down the audio a little bit. Oh, that was very loud. Stacker. Again, very basic mobile game concepts. You can actually see it on the side here. But basically, if it works, I don't remember if it works. You can move it sideways. If it cuts off, it shrinks in. You get the idea. Oh yeah. 1 second. It's about the car, because we had to cancel something. We had a guy, the mechanic guy, come here, and he actually had reserved a time at a mechanic's place tomorrow, and I have to cancel that time. Okay, there we go. So that was another game with very loud music. Let me just turn up the music here again. Still not the Viking game though. If I'll ever find it, I don't think I will. You'll see that again. Most of my my little test projects here are just to like test out certain mechanics, like cutting off the side of the box when it lands, those kinds of things. Let's see, maybe 2D platformer, like maybe that's just a name. 2 years ago? That doesn't sound quite right though. It must be. Let's try it. Oh, this one was creating with a Okay, well maybe this is gonna break then. So, what about a New Year's resolution of you finishing one game? No kidding, I've actually thought about it, if I will ever get that far. While I've been sitting at work, I have been trying to like doodle on a piece of paper different concepts for a game. I don't know what kind of game I would make. It had to be a 2D game, obviously, because that's primarily what I've been building as a test thing. Like I do actually have more complete games. I actually made a what is it called? You know the game with Isaac, the Binding of Isaac. Yeah, I actually made a clone of that. Like a very bare bone clone where you would go into like different doors and there would be different enemies and you had to shoot them. That would unlock another door and you would, you know, like an endless thing where things got more and more complex. And it would just randomly generate. So that was my attempt at random generation. And it did succeed. But that was on my previous laptops, not the one I have here, but I do have another laptop that I actually don't know where it is. It was the one I had before my previous laptop. That one is probably my most complete game that I've made. But I don't know what to make. Like if I had to make a game. Like maybe a dungeon crawler. That would be kind of fun. Or maybe start out easy and just make a mobile game. The only annoying thing about mobile games though is that if you have an iPhone, it requires, at least last time I checked, it requires a subscription to a service that Apple provides in order to get a developer account. So you can actually put your games on your phone even for testing. So that's a bad thing. Ooh, some of the project source files refer to an API that has changed. These can be automatically updated. Obstruction shape editor. Well, this will be interesting. See what breaks. Oh, GMTK? Yeah, I love watching that. Game Maker's Toolkit, right? Yeah, that one is super entertaining. Like when they have those game jams and people just submit things, like it's super fun to see. Like I'll even like sometimes play some of them. What is my current role? I sit by a computer. Make sure things doesn't break, basically. But I can't get into specifics because I don't want to have people track down where I work, which is pretty easy if you actually learn more about my job. He's making a 2D magnet game. Oh, really? I did think I long ago did see that he was building a game. 20 tests over a 2-week period, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. I don't know what that's referencing. Looking back. Yeah, let's try and get back into this. I've been, for the past half an hour, I've been trying to shade this tree trunk. And we haven't gotten that far yet. If every stream is going to be one asset, like not an asset pack, but just one asset, it's going to take a long time. So yeah, let's try and do some shading. Make sure we have the right layer. We do. Let's kind of shade in some shadows. And highlights. Oh. Hey, I found it! This is my Viking game. Oh, okay. So that was random. So apparently it just opens up the latest Unity. I don't have to untoggle it every time. He's making videos on how the progress has been since the last video. I did actually consider that. But it does require a lot of editing. 20 testers over 2 week period, if I'm not mistaken, for Google Android app acceptance. Okay, so if you want to do Android apps, then you could do so. I don't have an Android phone, unfortunately, so I wouldn't be able to test it. This one I built 2+ years ago as a small test, again, as a test. I don't know how much it's going to break when I start playing this, because it had to rework a lot of things. There were some so far so good. Yeah, parallax going on. Going to the cave. I don't know if you can tell because it's quite tiny, but we have this little Viking guy with a helmet. Oh yeah, and I have water. Some actual water effects. And there's a troll over here, but you didn't see it because it was too slow. Apparently the trigger for the troll has to be changed. Or maybe I actually... Oh, and the birds fly away. I don't know if you could tell. I want to show things off now. Yeah, so the birds over here, when I run over, actually see me and fly away. And I don't know if you can tell, but there's like tiny spectacles of leaves. Bird flies off. There's a troll down here too. Oh, come on. Can I get up there? No. If I remove the water, you can probably see it. I can find it. That's not the water. I get... Oh, no! Ah, I just found it. There we go. Where is it? Water. I'll just delete it and not save. There we go. Oh yeah, there's trail effects. I got post effects and bloom and stuff like that going on. And there's a troll over here popping his head up. And then there's nothing. Again, a small test project I made at some point. Just to like experiment with 2D artwork that wasn't pixel art. Because art like this, I could also put on the assets on my asset pack, by the way. But just like art like this, clouds and, you know, more like vector art instead of pixel art. But yeah, just experimenting. One of the most difficult things for some reason with this game here was not the parallax or, you know, like making the birds react or like the triggers, because that's fairly easy to do. But for some reason I struggled quite a bit when it came to when he falls. You can see when I like roll sideways and stuff, like he has to like tilt toward the side that he's falling, and I couldn't get it working, and I was like, why isn't it working? And then I found out that I was using physics movements together with transform movements, and when you do that, it fights each other. So instead of like getting that smooth effect, you would get like jittery effects, because the physics movement wanted me to like rotate that way, but the transform movement said to rotate that way. Then all of a sudden you had like this weird fighting going on. So yeah, that took a long time. Interpolate, I did actually try that. There's a lot of the issues that you have with movement in here. I can actually find my player character. There we go. Is that if you go inside your what do you call your rigid body, if you have collision detection set to discrete, or if you have interpolate down here set to none, then it jitters things. Another thing you'll also notice that inside Unity as an editor, if you have something inside the inspector, so if I click over, let's, if I can actually untoggle things. Yeah, if you have an object selected, you know, like when you select something, you have a bunch of info in here. If you unselect something, like this, it's a lot smoother when you play it. and they can actually go in and mess with things. Even the editor in itself is quite known to be performance heavy, so like things might be a little bit jittery, and then you're like, what is going on? Like, why isn't it, normal? And then you try and export the game and build it, and then it looks normal, and that's because the editor is messing things up. I had to mess with the rigid body rotation when making a frisbee game. I'm very familiar with the jitters. Yeah, you become very quickly familiar with jittery effects inside Unity. It's super annoying. Please continue OOP PHP tutorial. Maybe at some point, if I get around to the, to a point where a full-time job doesn't interfere with it, and I have the urge to make more OOP PHP tutorials, I might do it. I think that was the latest thing I started doing things for. But yeah, I was quite proud of this one when I started building this game. I was playing around with the artwork and the colors of the scene, because I liked something that was a little bit Limbo inspired. If you've tried Limbo before, it's quite famous. It was like, back when indie games started becoming a thing. I wanted to do something with the black and white, but I also wanted colors. So like the colors should pop more because of the black and white art style. It's kind of like a reverse thing, because usually the background is supposed to be fading away, and then all the foreground things, like the important things, are supposed to be colored and visible. Whereas in this sort of game, I tried doing it the opposite way. So all the very obvious colors and environmental elements are colored background elements. But then all the stuff you're supposed to see is darkened. So just a little bit of a different thing to try out. Yeah. Again, not something I ever finished. I just sort of built this one quick intro of this first level. But yeah. Regarding making an actual releasing a game, someone with a full-time job and a YouTube channel is always going to have a hard time finishing a game. There just isn't enough time. And that's exactly true. But also, because you can always find time. You can always go to an 8-hour job, come home again, take care of your family, maybe have a couple of hours left over at the end, and you could spend that time building a game, or making a website, or a YouTube tutorial, or something. But is that really what you want to spend the last 2 hours of your day doing after an 8-hour shift with family and everything? You just kind of want to chill. And that's a lot of people think that it's all about the time, but it's also about not stressing yourself out in the end. So yeah, that was the Viking game I was looking for. I'm so glad it didn't break when I updated it. That would have been horrible. I should probably make a build of it in case something breaks in the future. Like I said, I had the flu 2 weeks ago, so I'm coughing quite a bit. Don't save. There we go. But yeah, I have a question for people. How many people in here would be interested in seeing indie game gameplays, so to speak? Where we actually take random indie games off of itch.io, test them out, and just kind of check them out, and then look at them with game developer glasses and try to just praise what is good to praise, and try to dissect them. If making games or a website is fun for you, then it's definitely something you want to do in your remaining 4 hours. Exactly. Hi Danny, loved your PHP tutorials. Didn't know you were doing Unity as well. I am, and I have a bunch of Unity tutorials on my channel. So if people are interested in that, then you're more than welcome to check it out. I have how to make a basic 2D game where you can pick up things and have the UI display how many things you picked up and stuff like that. I do also have just Unity scripting from the beginning, So if you just want to focus on the programming part of making games inside Unity, then that is a good place to start too. So there's quite a few also standalone tutorials and how to teleport your player and stuff like that. I did also have a tutorial on how to create a save file for your game, but I found out that if you build it using binary, it's not safe for your game. So instead you have to build it using what is it called? I randomly forgot what it's called. Not binary. JSON. Exactly. Yeah, binary format is a no-no. So yeah. I mean, your value is your knowledge, not necessarily your opinion. Not that we don't want that either. It's just different content, which isn't easy to find because it's no real topic. Is that with my question about indie games? Then use AGS if you need encryption. I have actually not looked into that. There's actually... You'll actually notice what I'm trying to recreate here. You love watching random indie horror games. I love doing indie horror games. I had an issue because I tried to do indie horror games at some point on my channel, and people would tell me they didn't want to see scary thumbnails on their feed. That's not why they subscribe to a tutorial channel. So there's a small hurdle there. Let's see. Like if I want to find out how to do something in Unity, I go to you. Not necessarily interested in reviewing other games. Okay, that's cool. Tutorial channel, not review channel. True. But I also have to try and figure out what to do with the channel going forward, because making tutorials is very time consuming. So, where is it? I had it here somewhere. I think I might have gone away from it. I had a, at some point, there was a sale on itch.io with a bunch of games that just came with a big package. Like there was like 200 games or something. And I have them in here. At least I have some of them. Because you'll actually notice a little bit of the art style I'm trying to recreate here with like the tree and stuff like that comes from this game. If you can actually capture it. Like this one has sort of an art style that I'm looking for. If I can just skip forward a little bit here. Not this part, because this is 3D. And I'm not really interested in 3D. Let's try this. If I'm totally honest with you, I do prefer coding videos over anything else, but I can't stop you from doing what you want. And I'm here to support the channel since you got me started with programming. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. If I have to do like programming, if I have to be completely honest here, I would probably be more interested in doing Unity stuff. The web dev stuff is something that I had a lot of interest in many years ago. I started teaching it on the channel. It became very popular. Let me just turn down this music here. Whoops. Everything is messing up now. I started doing it and teaching it, and I had a big interest in it at some point, but then my interest kind of shifted over in Unity programming, because it's a little bit more complex than web development. So, you know, it had a bigger challenge. So the art style here is actually what I was trying to go for. You can kind of see like with the trees in the background further at the beginning of the stream when I said, you know, some people just kind of like painted with shades instead of doing all these like little dots of pixels. You can see the trees in the background there. I don't even know how to play this game. basic movement of like the grass and stuff, like round assets and tiles, trying to get, you know, just some basic asset packs going is what I was trying to do with this stream here. Oh, cool. I didn't even notice that. So yeah, just kind of like trying to figure out assets in this sort of style. I love the snow effect coming from the side. Does it actually move if you move your character? Oh, I fell. This is the jump button. Because in some cases, yeah, the snow is moving, so it is actually reacting to the character. So it's not a UI element. It's actually a, what do you call it? You know, one of those things that projects particles, particle emitters, coming from the side. So it's actually placed there. And then the question is, like, how far away is that particle emitter? Like, if you had to look at this from a game, you know, trying to dissect it, like all the snow, like, is that actually a particle emitter all the way at the end of the level? Just like spraying? Then the question becomes, like, how far is the level actually? Because the level is not very far. So there could very easily just be an emitter. Yeah. Celeste is a super hard game. I've seen people do speedruns of Celeste. Like, it's a very popular speedrun game. I've never actually played this game. It was just part of the asset pack that I got at that point. And I bought the asset pack not to play the games, but just to kind of like get inspired to, you know, maybe build something for myself. Yeah, the music is super chill. It's super awesome. Risk of Rain 2. The soundtrack in a game just makes it for me, honestly. I've never heard about Risk of Rain 2, no. Doing C# is definitely much harder than PHP, so anything that makes C# easy to understand is definitely appreciated. Daniel, you're my favorite teacher. I love you so much. Well, thank you. Could it be a 2D overlay with some sequence looping? Yeah, that could actually also be a thing. That could very much be a thing too. Because that would not make it, because you can actually see, like, it's moving, so when I move to the side, it moves faster with the snow. So, like, that could very well also be a possibility. I don't know what is more performance heavy. But you can also see there's, in the background too, like, there's layers going on here. You have, like, the front snow, which moves very fast, and then you have the background layer, which moves slower. So I think maybe a emitter might be what is happening here, because that might be less performance heavy if you have one emitter that can do all of this. Because you can basically have one emitter do all of this, where it would actually require multiple looping images to do this. So maybe. I don't know. I only signed up again because you were doing PHP again. Well, I do have a lot of PHP on my channel. Dude, I love your content, man. You helped me learn coding. I'm glad I was able to teach you. C# wouldn't call it harder than PHP, just different. I think the reason that it's harder, I think personally, is because PHP can be learned procedurally to begin with, whereas C# is object-oriented to begin with. So, like, PHP also just kind of have some lazy ways of doing things compared to C#. It's kind of like, I don't know. A lot of things are a little bit more simplified, I think. But yeah, it depends on who you ask. Like, you know, PHP definitely has a lot more security. So if you look at it from that point of view, then all of a sudden PHP is harder because there's a lot more, you know, data management and stuff like that. But, you know, C# is just building a game and making sure people don't break it. Hi, I'm back. I have a question, Danny. I was thinking about learning some new knowledge next year, and I was thinking going into Unity. What do you recommend for an almost newbie in Unity? If you want to learn Unity, I have, again, I'm going to advertise myself here a little bit. I do have a course that teaches scripting basics for Unity, where I teach C# in a Unity sense. So I would recommend watching that course, since it focuses on people not knowing anything about Unity, how to set up Unity and how to get scripting going so you can actually get characters moving. It has small projects too, I think, for building like a tank game. So if you want to do that, that would be a good place to start. Honestly, he could build a series or game using Unity, C# and PHP just like a game server. With like a game server. Yeah. I've never seen PHP be done in combination with Unity, but I know PHP is just like a server language. So I know you can also build it for desktop applications if you wanted to. Yeah. If I can actually see that comment. I think this game was built using monogame framework, not Unity. And yeah, like the game engine for games doesn't really matter. It's really about personal preference, what you can get out of it. For example, how much of a pay cut do they take from you? Making sure not to pick a company that screws you over at some point, like Unity tried to do. Almost, I think, was it 1.5 months ago? There's a lot of trouble there. Luckily, they went back on it and fired the CEO because they're about like a game like Hearthstone, which is made by Blizzard, was made using Unity. So imagine if that deal had gone through, that the Unity tried to do, where they would actually, you know, take money from people who made games that were already released, like try to get extra money from them. Like that would, yeah, good thing they didn't go through with it. Yeah, per install you would have to pay, and you could of course upgrade to a bigger subscription, and then it wouldn't really be that much of an impact. But still, pretty crazy. I would love to make a 3D game, but I have no ideas and definitely no commitment. Well, that makes it very difficult to make a 3D game, I would say. Save and exit. I mean, I didn't do anything. Oh, wait, hold on. Celeste has this one thing, which is that you don't use enter. You use C on your keyboard to select things. C for Celeste. Maybe that's why. But yeah, that's kind of what I was trying to do with this tree here. If you couldn't... Oh, okay. People are... 1 second, I'll be right back. Someone at the door. Okay. That was our neighbor dropping by with our cat because they're shooting fireworks outside. Let's get some music going, and this is horrible, sitting in silence. There we go. It was retroactive too. Yeah, it was crazy. Like, people who already made games would still have to pay. like, that's scary to think of. Like, imagine making a game where, like, you just, I mean, you would still make money, but imagine the cut that would take. Like, it was just crazy. It would have been a lawsuit city. Yeah, a lot of people would have gone after them. Like, it's they received death threats. That's hard to say. Death threats at the Unity headquarters because of it. And the people working at Unity were like super against it. Like, it was the CEO decision to do that. But yeah, glad they didn't commit to it. Yeah, they did can him. Okay. I can actually see here my wife is needs my help. For people who don't know, I talk about this at the beginning of the stream, but basically, my wife had 2 chronic illnesses that we got diagnosed 6 months ago, and she needs some help. So I'm so glad that people came in for the stream. It's good to see that people are still happy with my content. Yeah, one death threat was an actual employee. Yeah, people were crazy over there. Thank you so much. I'm so glad to see people have really enjoyed my content on the channel. I'm gonna figure out what to do with the channel because something has to happen. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. That was so lame.